My name is Paulina. I am the operations manager at Maria Jones Law Firm, and it is my responsibility to provide good customer service to everyone in this firm. In this role, it is very important to answer every single call that comes in because that's potential business, but it's also related to our existing clients, and we care about them, and we never know if it's an emergency. And if it is, we have to jump right into it, especially during these difficult times that every phone call, every message matters. So it is my priority to pick up each one of them. We currently invest in different marketing sources. We do have advertisements and different campaigns, but we also have a referral program. But yes, we currently have different budgets, and it's very important for us to not just spend that money on advertising, but getting some return of investment. I remember in some of our marketing meetings, the numbers were looking great, like how we were engaging, like on the website. They clicked here, they messaged us. That sounds awesome. But when running the reports, trying to see what return of investment we were getting, we started noticing that we were missing many, many calls. And we started wondering, is it current clients calling in for updates? Which is a bad thing if we don't answer. But what if it's a potential client trying to apply for this type of case that with advertising and it raised that red flag of everything on this end, it's doing amazing, it's working perfectly for us, but our internal setup, it's not as big as we need it to be. What do we do now? Do we hire more employees and spend time training them, hoping that they're going to stick around? Or do we put all of our instructions in paper and have someone else jump in to help us? I remember that when we identified this problem and we needed to find a solution and thinking about the possibilities, I just opened my computer and I searched, can we hire a third party? Is there any way, even if it's through chat or if it's through a phone call, who can help us? And that's when Smith.ai popped up. And I remember going in through the website, I started reading everything. It looked so appealing and so user-friendly that I didn't need to do any other research. I remember Smith.ai was the first contact I made, and I picked up my phone. They got back to me so quickly, and here we are. When first having contact with Smith.ai, I just felt so comfortable because they're always so friendly and it's so easy to connect with each representative, whether it's sales or when it was the onboarding. I feel like we created a bond and I could be transparent. I could tell them exactly what I needed and they listened. I think that was the most important thing. They listened without telling me how I should be doing things. They were like, okay. They acknowledged everything I was saying, they made some suggestions, and that's when they showed me what they could offer me. And I was like, okay, this is great. I feel comfortable enough to make some tweaks, see what they've done, because they clearly have the experience. And ever since then, I've learned so much. I'm like, oh, wow, I wish I had met Smith AI before. When it came to expectations, I feel like in a way they were pretty low because you don't know what to expect actually. But at the same time, you go based off on what you currently have with your staff, and we have high expectations. We have our rules. We're like, okay, we're focused on the quality, the efficiency, the customer service. We have to be transparent. So when I started working with Smith AI, I noticed just how perfect it was. It was just a matter of communication. If I noticed that something could be different, not because it was not working, but it could be different, I just needed to bring it up to my team and they would make the tweaks, as I said. We could always change the instructions. They showed me how I could do it myself in case I wanted to play a little with the dashboard. So to me, the main thing is how user-friendly everything is and how nice everyone is and how their minds are very open and they take the feedback just perfectly. I feel like based on our needs at Maria Jones Law Firm, Smith AI would follow everything to the T. They'd be like, if this is what you want and this is what you expect, we can make it happen. But we could also do this if that works for you. And we changed some of our procedures based on what Smith AI has to offer. And I've noticed a huge change For example, when I get the call summaries, that's how we started registering our notes here at the law firm because it's very clear who called, the best contact number and email, the reason for the call, all of that. It's very detailed, but very useful. When using AI, it sounded a little scary at the beginning because you start thinking it's not a real person. AI, it's not going to care about our clients the way we do. But when we were setting it up, I discovered that you can determine what voice you want to use. So for us, for example, we use a female voice because that gives it a very human touch. And you also are in control of the script, your opening script for each call. So nothing really changed. And we do establish on our calls like, hey, this is the AI receptionist for Maria Jones Law Firm. We even received a compliment at the office from one of our clients. They walked in and they're like, I talked to AI and it sounds wonderful. Congratulations. So I relayed that on my team because that was a great sign. With AI, you think like something's gonna be missing, or what if AI says something that I don't want it to say. But with Smith AI, it's so easy to establish what to answer. If the person asks this, this is how you reroute them, or you tell them, I'm going to transfer you over to the team, and that's when we get it. So AI does not have the control of what to share and whatnot. Not only AI follows all of our guidelines, but yes, it does make our clients feel special and they're being heard. It's difficult when you're on the phone and you're just pressing buttons and you're option one and say this out loud. Like it is not like that with Smith AI. So this AI actually takes the message. And I noticed how if the client is concerned, scared, stressed, upset, AI tries to do some damage control where they acknowledge their feelings. I understand you're not feeling good. I understand this is stressful. These are difficult times. We are here to help you. Let me transfer you over. When the clients hear that, they're like, okay, I just know that this is AI, but I feel like they're still taking care of me. And that's something very important in our firm. I've listened to many of the recordings provided, and it's always very impressive how the clients call in all upset for whatever reason, and AI, as mentioned, can de-escalate the situation by acknowledging, and then it provides the instructions that we gave you guys. Like they're gonna give you a call back in the next 24 to 48 hours. Don't worry, I've made sure to take your message. I'll deliver it. Maybe they'll contact you sooner. So it does not have the robotic part that people would think it has. All of the calls that we return, it's very important for us to know why we're calling back. So it's very efficient to know who called, if they called on behalf of someone else, what's the best time to contact them, the exact reason for their call. Because if imagine I'm not using Smith AI services and someone else picks up the phone and they're just, Paulina called in, she needs a call back. Is it for updates? Because that would be with the legal team. Is it to make a payment? Then that would be with the finance team. Is it for an upcoming interview? That would be with the attorney. So I would have to call, guess, and then the clients could be, I already called in and told you guys exactly what I needed. So we always try to get the exact reason why they're calling in. And that's what we get with AI or Smith AI services. I know exactly who's calling and why they're calling in, and I can forward that request to the right person. The thing that I hear the most when talking about Smith AI or the actual AI with friends or even coworkers here is AI is going to take our jobs. AI is going to take over. I'm not going to have a job anymore. It's not like that. We've been able to identify if AI is taking care of this, what can I focus on now? So our employees, I still have phone operators at the law firm. We still have people answering the phones because we have our tree system of, okay, if this happens in the phone call, who's going to take over? and then it gets transferred. But our phone operators who are not on the phones back to back anymore, they can help with other tasks. Our legal teams are always busy. We have our sales team, which is a huge priority as well, because it's not just handling the phone calls, it's who's closing those sales. We can help them now. So it's always determining where to put people based on their skills and not having them just answering phones. Having AI has helped our employees grow in other positions. I would 100% recommend these services to any other person. It doesn't matter if they do not do the same as we do, like if they're not a law firm. I've talked about this to other friends who they're business owners. And I've noticed sometimes they're crazy on the phones. They have to jump right into the computer. They're trying to figure out what happened. And I was thinking, it doesn't matter if it's a small business or if it's a big business, we could always use this help to have more organization, to take the message clearly and very efficiently, to have some record. Because I don't know if it has happened to you when you pick up your phone, someone tells you that you have to do something, you're like, oh, yes, but you're driving, you're walking. By the end of the day, you're like, I was supposed to do this other thing. It happens a lot to me, not at work because of this amazing service, but it happens in my personal life. So if anyone has any sort of business and the phones are always a problem, like this is going to help you 100%. After having Smith AI and the AI answering the phone calls, we have noticed less upset clients on the phones because, first of all, we are picking up their phone call. Second of all, we're receiving a very clear message on what they need, and they get a call back in a timely manner because we do not have the legal assistance on the phone all day trying to figure out why did this person call? It's not mine. Let me transfer you over to finance. Let me transfer you over to sales because turns out you need to hire for a different step of the process. I have noticed a faster response on getting back to potential clients, screening them, having them come into the office to get started. It's just using time wisely. And I feel like right now, time is very valuable. And if you're not spending it in the right thing, it's very easy for a business to fail. So I feel like we're growing a lot more thanks to Smith AI. When we were thinking about hiring other phone operators internally or getting other human receptionists, we would always think of other issues like, okay, what is going to happen when people call after hours? We only work from 9 to 5. Okay, we need to hire someone who can work from 5 p.m. to the next morning and during the weekends and during the holidays. Just thinking that, I was like, wait, who's going to do that? I wouldn't do it. Maybe someone out there is willing to do it, but it sounds exhausting. And there's always some sort of miscommunication from the night shift to the regular hours shift. So when I was looking for the options, I thought, okay, AI, they can answer if it's 10 calls that are on the queue right now, they can take it. Or if it's 100 or if it's a holiday, I can have someone pick up that phone call and I can just jump right into the summary the next day and go based on priorities. If it's urgent, we get back to them immediately. But if it's, oh, I was just calling for updates or I was trying to see if you guys help with this kind of cases, it helped us manage everything a lot easier. Because hiring someone and then tell them like, oh yes, by the way, you're gonna work on Sundays all day because we need our phones to be answered. It sounds like, oh, okay, I don't want this job. So AI just makes it a lot easier. They don't need the breaks I mean, it sounds a little crazy, but no breaks, no time to sleep, you know? It's just wonderful. You have someone answering literally 24/7. Smith AI is definitely not really a cost. It's really an investment. When we start comparing, because you always have to evaluate if what you're doing it's the right thing or the best for the firm, We're like, okay, we're paying this amount of money, but how much money are we losing because we're not hiring new potential clients? We're closing the door. People start spreading the word. Don't call that law firm because they never pick up the phone. Uh-oh, I just closed many, many doors instead of paying this for everything I get. It's totally worth it. It's not a cost. It is totally an investment. And I would always recommend people to really evaluate how much money you're losing by not investing on this amazing tool that you can perfect.